Have you ever looked at an IELTS reading question and wondered, is this true, false, or not given? If yes, you're not alone. This is one of the most confusing question types where many students lose easy marks and feel overwhelmed by the passages. The good news is that once you understand the simple rules, these questions become much easier. It's all about logic and following a clear process. In this lesson, I'll explain the difference between true, false, and not given, show you the biggest mistakes students make, and teach you a simple strategy you can use in the real exam to stay calm and accurate. Let's get started. A statement is true when the information in the question agrees completely with the passage. The wording might be different, but the meaning is exactly the same. Paraphrasing is very common here. For example, the passage says, the museum opens at 9 a.m. The question says, the museum begins welcoming visitors at 9 in the morning. These two sentences have the same meaning. So the answer is true. Always remember, you're comparing the underlying meaning, not looking for exact word-for-word matches. A statement is false when the passage gives information that directly contradicts or opposes the question. For example, the passage says, the museum opens at 9 a.m., and we need to check if the question contradicts this. The question says, the museum opens at 8 a.m. The passage clearly says 9. The question says 8. One is the opposite of the other. These two statements cannot both be correct at the same time, so the answer is false. A clear contradiction in the text always results in a false answer. Now let's look at the most difficult one. Not given doesn't mean the statement is false or wrong. It means the passage simply doesn't tell you the information you are looking for. For example, the passage says the museum opens at 9 a.m. The question says the museum closes at 6 p.m. Does the passage mention the closing time? No, so we can't guess. The IELTS test only cares about the information explicitly stated in the passage. Since the passage doesn't mention the closing time at all, the answer must be not given. Never use your own knowledge or external assumptions when answering these questions. The biggest mistake IELTS students make is confusing false with not given. This happens to everyone. Here's an easy way to remember the difference. False means the passage actively says the opposite of the statement. In other words, you can find a specific sentence that proves the question is incorrect. Not given means the passage doesn't say anything about it. There is no proof one way or the other. Ask yourself, can I find info that proves this statement is wrong? If you can't, it's not false. If the answer is yes and you have that proof, then you choose false. If the answer is no because the information simply doesn't exist in the text, then you must choose not given. This one simple logic check can save you a lot of marks and frustration during the test. Here's a 3-step strategy. Step 1, read the statement carefully and identify the keywords. Focus on names, dates, numbers, places, or any important unique ideas in the sentence. Step 2, scan the passage quickly until you find those keywords or similar synonyms. Don't read the entire passage again. Look for the relevant section where those ideas are mentioned. Step 3, compare the meaning of the statement with the passage. Ask yourself these 3 questions. Does the passage agree? True. Does the passage disagree? False. Does the passage not mention it? Not given. Let's try an example. The passage says, regular exercise improves heart health and reduces stress. The question says, regular exercise helps people sleep better. Take a moment to think about the answer. Does the passage mention sleep? No, it talks about heart health and stress instead. Does it say exercise does not improve sleep? No, the information simply isn't there. So the answer is not given. Let's quickly recap the main points. Choose true when the passage agrees with the statement. Choose false when the passage says the opposite or contradicts the statement directly. Choose not given when the passage doesn't mention the information at all, even if it seems plausible. Remember, never guess, never use your own knowledge, only use the information provided in the passage. If you found this lesson helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with other IELTS students. Subscribe to IELTS Insight for more step-by-step lessons. We cover every section of the test to help you succeed. Next in our reading course, we'll cover matching headings, another vital question type for your Band 8 goal. I'll show you exactly how to tackle those tricky headings with ease. Don't miss it. Thanks for watching, stay focused, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Good luck with your preparation.